What's up, everybody? What's up from Fabtcg, and today we're going to be doing a discussion video. Not similar to my trading card gambit series. That's going to be entirely different. Today, this is going to be kind of me just speaking from the heart about something that happened this weekend. Something that has always been on the verge of happening, but never really got there. So, I think for the first time in my TCG career, finally crashed out after an event. Those who don't understand what crashing out means, this pretty much means like any and all emotion that is built up, normally anger, or something else turning into anger, gets to a boiling point where it overflows and it just comes out, and you're just probably one of the most heinous individuals. You're very hateful as well, and it just oozes out, and it all happens in a scene. It's like someone goes and cut, and like you just start going fucking ballistic and crazy, like you're slamming shit, you're cussing, you're just like a danger because of just how your anger is around you. And well, I was somewhat contained when I crashed out, which I'm very very thankful for that. This didn't happen in the public place. It all started in the public place, but it all finally came to a head once I was in outside of there. So what happened this weekend is PQ season has started, and I was kind of 50-50 on if I was playing. I know that with the team I'm on, I'm mostly coaching at events. Those who don't know what I'm doing when I'm coaching, I'm basically standing behind my players while they play Flesh and Blood, and I analyze what happens. I talk to them afterward about the game. I give them things to prepare going forward, and I'm basically walking around like the top table, seeing what's happening, coaching. I definitely didn't blink twice because I was in danger. I promise. Um, but I am going to a draft PQ. It was one where I can't really do much there when it comes to coaching, just because of how the draft works and the processes. So I went there and I drafted two different pods and played Florian both times. Now, I still have my decks separated. I don't know where they're at, to be honest, and I don't really feel like looking. I'm gonna be bros. I don't feel like looking. But played Florian both times, and both pods I felt like my deck wasn't amazing, only because of one thing. So normally when I've played Limited, I have had my Flooring decks be really, really good into the mirror. They've been like excellent to mirror. I actually have never lost a Flooring mirror until this weekend. Never lost a Flooring mirror in Limited. Because, again, just certain style that I go for. But this weekend, when I was drafting, my decks were very aggressive. Now, that was not the intent when I was drafting. They weren't intentionally supposed to be aggressive. They ended up being aggressive. Because what happened, and this individual already knows how I feel because I make a joke about it all the time. There was an individual that's next to me in the first draft who like should have 100% been Aurora or even a Cilio, but was Verdance. So it goes Verdance right here, me Florian, and the way like my first few picks was the most obvious Florian deck. It was Red Autumn's Touch, Red Vantage Point, Red fucking the one where when you attack you destroy aura, you make a rune chain. If it hits, you destroy an aura. And then a cussing, and then another like insane fucking Florian card. And I'm like, this is the most obvious Florian deck I've ever seen. And then I'm like, okay, this person should be Aurora, and I'm getting signals. I'm like, okay, they're probably Earth. Like the first few packs didn't have a ton of wizard cards, so I was like, maybe they're wizard. But then later down the same first pack, there was a bunch of wizard cards, and I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense because earlier there was no wizard cards. Then there's a bunch of wizard cards to the point where I'm like, am I supposed to pivot? This is like pick 8, pick 9. I'm like, am I supposed to pivot to wizard? Like it's a little bit late to pivot, but I still think I'm safe because I at least have a decent amount of earth cards and like the amount of playables you can get in a draft is normally pretty high if you draft well. But I was like, I might have to pivot here. Thankfully, I didn't, and I just kept going with my Florian. And I ended up actually having a good Florian deck, but it didn't accomplish the goal that I wanted. The goal that I wanted was to be really good into the mirror, because I think I could just skill check the other matchups, but I really, really, really wanted to be good into the mirror. Did not get that out of the deck. Went 2-1 in the first pod. I beat a Verdant, and I beat an Aurora. Lost to the Florian. So we go to pod number 2. Mostly the same individuals. Well, 4 of the same individuals from the first pod, and had some people from the second and third pod. I'm in a seat where, yet again, I'm supposed to be Florian. Mind you, I go into the draft window to be Florian, but my first pick is Red Tilling, fucking Blue Autumn's Touch, fucking Red Rootbound Carapace, and I'm like, oh, here we fucking go. I'm in the Florian seat. Let's go. I'm in the Florian seat. Now, yeah, and the reason why I know it's Florian is because the wizard cards in these first few packs suck. So there's not even a reason to go, oh, I can just, get the wizard cards later. Like, they all suck. It's like fucking yellow fucking Pop the Bubble and like blue fucking it's like the shitty cards, and they're even the shitty versions of the shitty cards, right? So I know I'm supposed to be Florian. Like, and the draft even played out like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be Florian. Oh yeah, sorry, I need to back up. So that first draft was literally Verdant's 2 spots from me, Verdant's next to me. No, sorry, Florian 2 spots from me, Verdant's next to me, Florian, across from me is Verdant's, across to them is Verdant's. It's just like, how are there 5 Earths next to each other? One, like, some amount of you fucked up. It's not me, because if I showed you guys my deck, how it ended up being, you're like, this deck is insane. Loses to the mirror, but it crushes everyone else as it did. Like, I absolutely crushed every other matchup. It's just like, bro, just give me what I deserve, man. Give me a pod where everyone's trying to win. What the fuck is that, bro? So then we go to the second pod. Again, I have a sane opening start for Florian. Oh, and like I said, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so fucking obvious. The person next to me is giving me Aurora signals. I'm giving my opponent Florian signals. Dude, coming back this way, my opponent's giving me fucking Verdant signals. This corner made sense. And then the table, as you go away from this corner, started to get fucked up. And it's just like, bro, what? Like, I'm like, hey, what are you guys? They're like, Florian. And I'm like, what are you? Florian. I'm like, what are you? Florian. All 3 of you can't be Florian and have been next to each other. Because look at my Runeblade and Earth cards. What the fuck did you get? What type of banana-ass fucking deck do you have? You got a blueberry banana-ass fucking deck. There ain't no fucking way, man. And, like I said, I 2-1 that pod as well. The only 2 pods I only lost to, you guessed it, the Florian. No, the first pod I lost to the undefeated because I was in the 2-1 match. And the last one I lost to the, they ended up going 2-1. They lost the finals match to the person who went undefeated won to our tournament. So I went 4-2, but my losses were round 3, round 4, so I have pretty decent breakers. You know, I was expecting the top 8, but I was like, it's kind of, Jim is kind of weird. Like, even though it's round 3, round 4, and the people I lost to placed fucking well, I was still fucking at unease. And I was right for feeling that way. You know why? Everyone was so sure that I was top 8. But I said, I'm pretty sure I'm fighting through 7th through 9th. Because I was like, I just know how gym works. And I know how this works. I'm fighting 7th through 9th. But everyone's like, no, there's no way. You're top 8. 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 And I'm like, you know what? They're probably right. Low mode. Standings get called. I go and ask what my standing is. I'm just like in suspense because it's a long time. There's so much fucking suspense going on. And I get told by Tio, you're actually ninth. And I go, excuse me? We're like, oh, yeah, you're ninth. And I get told, like, what the top 8 is. And this next part, I'm just going to be very, very blunt. And I'm going to be kind of like talking down on someone that is a friend to me. I need you to understand this is the perspective I'm having at the time. Obviously, I have a different perspective now. So I beg you, please do not get offended. And if you get offended, sucks to be you, I guess. I don't know. So I find out I'm ninth, and I find out who is eighth. So it's me ninth. My teammate, who's also 4-2, is 10th, and the person that is eighth is the person that openly fucked up the draft pod twice. The first draft pod they fucked up. I'm sorry, I said it wrong the first time. They were in my draft pod the first time. My teammates draft pod the second time. And this person fucked the draft up twice. Openly talked about it. Still played their ass off to get 4-2. Like I'll give them credit on that. Like the way that I know the draft went on my side and how I heard the draft on that side, for you to go 4-2 and that's how the draft goes, I fucking applaud you. That takes fucking skill to get there. That takes some fucking skill. But realistically, at the point in time when I found out I was ninth, and I drafted my fucking ass off, and I played my fucking ass off. Because, like, those Florian games, when I felt like I shouldn't have won, dude, I got him fucking close. And it ended up being deck quality at the end of the day. Like, for every 2 good cards I had, they had 4. For every, like, really sick play I could do with something, they could do 2 of them. And it's just, I got limited. And, like I said, it was just deck choice. My deck was not as good as Into the Mirror, but it made the other matchups not close. I don't know how close the 2 Florians I lost to, I don't know how their matchups were, like what they faced. I mean, they beat the Mirror at least once, I can tell you that. Maybe they were able to skill check and like easily beat the other matchups. But like I said, my Verdance, my Aurora, my Cilia matchups were not fucking close. They were like absolute fucking blowouts where I was winning them before, but they could be close and kind of like I really, really had to fucking play well. But like this weekend, rode up in a fucking blunt. So I find out I'm ninth, and I'm fucking pissed because I put a lot of fucking I put a lot of time in this draft format. But like now, this is probably the format out of like the last 3 formats that I've actually practiced the least. But I still put a lot of fucking time into it. I just unfortunately have not got to do a lot in paper, but online I've gotten to do a lot. And I've done a lot of theorizing over the draft as well, and plus I had a lot of limited practice at the World Premiere anyway. I found out 9th, I find out who is 8th, and the fact that my teammate is 10th right next to me. And at the time, I think I take some verbal jabs. I believe I like am talking shit, like, kind of in their vicinity. I mean, they're saying shit, like, in my vicinity. Like how they fucked the draft and still made top 8. And they end up saying that they feel bad that they took the spot away from me and all that stuff. But like at the point in time, I didn't care. I was just really fucking pissed that a PQ I realistically didn't actually want to play in. But I was like, you know what, fuck it. I practiced. Let's go fucking do this thing. And I motivated myself. And I was a good headspace the whole entire time because one of the big things I've been trying to do is to stop tilting during events. And I think throughout the whole entire event, I was actually in pretty good spirits. It was just once we finally reached the end and I got the result, I got upset. And again, outside the verbal jabs that happened, nothing really had. I ended up like biting the fuck out of my lip, and like it actually still kind of hurts like right here. You won't be able to see because the camera's like not great, but I actually have marks on my lip from where I was like biting my fucking lip just so I wouldn't fucking say shit. I finally get into the car because like I'm in a bad mood. I know I'm gonna fucking do something really fucking bad if I stay in there. So I go to the car. I wait on my friend to come, and we leave. And the moment the car fucking closes, it just all unleashes. I'm fucking yelling at the top of my fucking lungs. I feel bad. I feel so fucking bad for my teammate. I end up like apologizing to him later, and he said, "Bro, I'm here for you. Like, I understand you needed to vent." Like, shout out to Nathaniel Lensangam, bro. Hey, can I get clap wherever you're at? Get claps for him, bro. Cause he let me crash the fuck out, and he didn't, bro. He did nothing but encourage me, and he accepted my apology. Hey, W fucking teammate right there. You guys need a teammate like Nathaniel Lensangam, bro. You guys need a teammate like him. But like basically what I'm saying while we're in the car, because I remember a decent amount, not everything, but I remember a decent amount of what I said. I said I am so fucking tired of the amount that I put into the game. So for those who don't know my process as a coach, I actually put a shit ton of time in this game. Now, largely it's not actually for me. I'm putting time in the game to figure stuff out for my players that I coach. The ones on the team and then the ones I coach on the side. And I and it's weird because I've told these people like, well, how do you not benefit off of this? Well, so I know my problem area as a player. I never get to address my problem area as a player. And the decks that I play at tournaments, I either don't play at all, or I play very minimal amount, or I just jam games which don't help. Like for example, people know I have two Proquest finals with Azalea. I have less than like 30 lifetime. Well, combining online, I probably have less than 50 lifetime games with Azalea, and like less than 20 of those are in paper. Like I might have like 13 to 14 of those in paper, and most of those are like at the Proquest. The rest are all online, and they've been with lots of different lists and stuff. Like the lists I actually put in paper are never the lists I played online. So I have very low IRO or just even in general Azalea reps. But a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think I've like a lot of people thought I was in Azalea main for a while. A lot of people was like, "Oh yeah, you've like done you must have put a lot of time in Azalea," and I just have to like shake my head and like just in the back of my head, no, I fucking haven't. That's because I'm spending more time on like the decks that my players are playing, or just like the general meta decks, and trying to either help improve my players' decks or improve at the meta decks so I can play those against my players and really like push them to the limit. Like one of the reasons I got really good at Prism, the common Prism, is because I had to spam fucking Prism games and I had to dissect Prism. So when my teammates needed games versus Prism, they had someone there. Dude, as much as I hated Bravo, when Bravo was meta for that tiny bit, oh my gosh, the amount of Bravo games I played is insane. You know why? Because my teammates needed Bravo games. And it had to be me. It always has to be me. Now, that's a whole separate issue within the team. But 9 times out of 10, I have to be playing the gauntlet decks. So I need as many reps and as much knowledge about every other hero that I can get. And this is how my life is. Now, this is obviously third world problems, and I don't even have like the worst like life, but again, this is coming from the frustration part of me. I'm either at work, sleeping. If I'm not doing those two things, here we are. I am playing Flesh and Blood, like either IRL or on Talishar. I'm either doing or I'm doing VOD review of either my own games or someone else's games. 3, I'm spectating a lot of people on Talishar, trying to figure out, okay, what are people doing, studying decks. 4, I'm just scouring tournament results, and like this one, like that's a whole separate thing. I'm like, oh, this is literally me going, okay, calling this happened. Let me find out every person that I can find out went to there. Let me find out what they played. Let me find out how the round by round went, and let me see if I can figure something out. I'm dissecting so fucking much data. Or like 5, I'm at my free time. They're like, Isaac, what else can you do? Nothing. I'm just doing my free time, right? You know how I spend my free time not doing Flesh and Blood stuff? I go in the Card Guys Discord and I go hang out with my Flesh and Blood friends. And you know what we do when we go in there? You guessed it. Flesh and Blood. So it's I'm either playing Flesh and Blood, studying Flesh and Blood, or I'm with my friends doing what? Flesh and Blood. So it's like almost every aspect of my life has turned into Flesh and Blood. And the two big things that really have like got under me is a lot of people around me don't have to do that. They just don't do that. And it feels like they get rewarded for putting minimal time. Now, not everyone. I know a lot of people that put in a shit ton of time and get rewarded. But people that put in like a fraction of the time that I put in. And I don't even put in hours just to say I put in hours. Like, they are quality hours. Like, if someone plays 1,000 fucking reps of fucking Phi on Talishar, no, that doesn't mean anything. If they're just going click, 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 click. Like, I'll put in like half of that, but I'll also be VOD reviewing those and like dissecting shit, right? That's the difference that I feel like I have from most Flesh and Blood players. Is I'm doing more than just playing games to play games. And it feels like so many times I get so close to being rewarded, and then I just barely don't get there and I don't get rewarded. Now, in the car, I said I've never gotten rewarded, and that's just not true. I mean, I've gotten multiple top 8s, multiple wins. So for me to say that I've never gotten rewarded for my effort is just not true. I think mostly it's proportional. So let's just say in this imaginary world, for every 100 hours you put into Flesh and Blood, you get 1 win. And like for every 75 hours, you get a top 8. So you get a top 8 at 75 out of 100, you get a win. Where it feels like for me, it feels like for every 200 hours, I get like a bubble. Every 300 hours, I get a top 8, and for every 500 hours, a win. That's what it feels like for me, that I have to work so much extra hard just to like have comparable or sometimes even still worse results. And again, it can go back to, oh, Isaac, you said you're mostly like trying to get better for other people. You're not working on yourself. That could be one of the reasons. And I don't doubt that that is a reason that I'm never like working on my own game. I'm working on other people's game. Which is fine. It's what I signed up for, right? I signed up to do that. So realistically, I can't complain. That's what I started like this part of the rant off with, is like, these are like first world problems. These are problems like I asked for. So like I'm not like, that's why I'm in a better headspace now. That was just an angry Isaac talking at the time. Even though some or even a lot of points are valid, that just doesn't matter because it's just what I asked. I asked to be. No one put a gun to my head, tied me up, and said they'll kill my family if I don't coach. I chose to coach. But that was my biggest thing. Is it feels like the game doesn't reward me for what I do, like in any aspect. And then my teammate kept trying to like draw parallels and like tried to calm me down and all that stuff. One of the points that he made that like really made me upset at the time, and again, but like it took me not being upset to understand what he was saying. He was like, "Hey man, there's a lot of really really good players that go to events and just O2 drop and don't do well. Like you're not the only one." Obviously, he was just saying do bad. He didn't say I O2 dropped, obviously. And he's like even like there's like some content creators that do that. So like yeah, you don't have to feel like it's only you. And I'm like, here's the difference between me and them. At some aspect, they're still winning in something. So to compare me and compare them, recently, while I'm able to actually travel more for Flesh and Blood, um, that's actually like put a strain on my money because it is more important for me to have my decks up to date. It has been more important for me to make sure I have money for travel. It's so like non-Flesh and Blood things, my money's shrunk. So that means every time I go to a Flesh and Blood event, I took away from something, where from before I either just didn't go, or there were times where I'd excess my money because I had a really, really fucking good paying job, so it didn't matter. But now that like I have to sacrifice other things to now go, and it's a bigger sacrifice than it was before. Every time I don't like do well in an event or I don't bring home anything, it feels like a bigger loss than it once was, right? So for other people, now I can't speak for everyone because that's just silly if I try to speak for everyone. Yes, they might be bad in like a lot of the areas, but like financially they're still fine. Or if they're a content creator, their YouTube is in a better spot than mine. Or hey, this is just one of their tournament results, but like 2 tournaments ago they did something, and it's like no matter what angle or what like point you want to go to, they're probably winning in something. And realistically, if I wanted to not be like a piece of shit and like I actually wanted to live in reality, I'm winning in something too. It is just when I was angry, I didn't want to see that. I wanted to see that the world was gray, the world was against me, everything sucked. And that's a horrible mentality to have. Not that that doesn't come with some benefits. It always gives you a reason to like prove something wrong, or it gives you motivation to like get stop. Because I don't think anyone wants to go through life going like, "Yep, their whole world hates me. Yep, and this is all fine." Whoop, whoop, whoop. No one wants to go through all that. No one. And if you do, I got nothing for you, bro. I got nothing for you. But it felt like a really big victim mentality that I had in the car, where it felt like I was the only one in the whole entire world that never had success or something, and everyone always has success, or they have success more often than me, and it really felt unfair. And that's just not the case, man. That's just not the case. There are some really, really good fucking players that I know who've probably never even day 2'd an event. Because something always happened. Or if they have day 2, it's been like once. There's some people that's probably never even won an event that are really good. It's like, I've won multiple events. So, like, it's hard for me in my body now to look back at everything that I was saying. And again, I'm actually hiding a decent amount of stuff that I'm saying, most because you guys kind of get the point. I don't want to be like, well, I specifically said this at this time, and then I specifically said this. It's like, you get the point. I was super angry. I was ranting. I was complaining. I was bitching. I was moaning. Again, there were a lot of stuff I said that was true, but there was a lot of stuff that I said that's just also not true or not necessary to complain about. And while I'm in a better headspace now, it doesn't take away the fact that I crashed out. And I crashed out for a reason. This has been something that's been building up. And the reason why it's been building up is because I've had so many close finishes. I mean, for those who know my Proquest woes, I've never actually won a Proquest. But I've gotten a shit ton of finals. I've gone to the finals of a Proquest so many times. And for one reason or another, I don't cross the finish line. And rarely it's been my opponent just shot all over me and I never had a chance. It's mostly I'm in winning positions and I find some way to fuck it up. And it's like, who do I blame for that? Can't blame my opponent. They're just playing their cards. I have to blame me because I'm the one that made the fuck up. So it's like, what? It's just hard for me to go like, what am I supposed to think in that situation? Where like, I feel like there's so many people worse than me that have had more success. But realistically, when I say something like that, there's so many people better than me that I've had more success than. And that's the big issue when we all complain and all that stuff is we always look at everything in our first person view, which is not entirely incorrect. I mean, this is our life. Like, there's no way we can just like look over our shoulder constantly and be like, yeah, we're gonna look at everything in the third person view. That's just not how that works. But like I said, everything that I've complained about, I guarantee you, there's probably someone in this world who's had less success than me in Flesh and Blood, proportional to their success. I guarantee it. Just like how I feel, there are people worse than me that put in less effort than me that have had more success than me. Same thing is true for me. But it's so hard for all of us to see that at the point in time, because whenever we fail to go over the finish line, when we fail to succeed, it's all about us. It's all about our failures and how life isn't fair for us. We just got to take a step back. That's why I'm actually, part of me is actually glad. So I went to another Proquest yesterday. So today is Monday. Yesterday is Sunday, where the Proquest happened in Kentucky, and I didn't get to play. I prepared to play. When we got there, well, when I called, they were at max capacity. When we got there, they said that there was 2 spots, and then randomly there was 1 spot, even though there was 2 people missing. But they would only let 1 person play. Don't ask me. Don't ask me about the shop. My head hurts way too fucking much, bro. Because my teammate explained the whole situation inside, and I'm like, well, based off all that, we both should have got to play, even though they had this number. So I mean, if they got the number wrong the first time, it was weird. It was weird. But yeah. So I didn't get to play. So I just did my coach thing where I kind of watch my player and I kind of watch the top tables and kind of see what's going on. And I got to get a lot of information. And he got to top 8 with New. He lost in the round of 8 to an Azalea. He actually, I think he lost all the Azaleas, or he only beat one of the Azaleas. He faced a decent amount of Azaleas that day. He didn't get there, but weirdly, the whole entire tournament, I was just at ease. And why I really wanted to play, because, oh my gosh, also, that field was so good for Kano. Oh my gosh. Because I was originally going to play Dio, but then I was like, fuck, I'm going to be playing Dio when the army deck comes out, let me just play my boy Kano. But I look at that field, and it's just like, I would have ate that field alive with Kano. Because like, the last few Proquests I've went to, people look at me and go like, oh god, you're here? Are you playing Kano? And I'm like, no, I'm not playing Kano. And it's just, that is something special that I feel I have. Like, I don't think I have aura. Like, I think like someone like Hamilton has aura. Someone like Brody has aura. I don't think I have aura. But the sole fact that upon my arrival, people see me, and I see people oddly groaning just because they know how good I am at Kano. Because if it's just shit Kano, right? If it's some mid-ass Kano, you're not going to be like, oh, you might be like, matchup's not favorable, I can probably get there. They know more often than not, I'm probably going to win that game if things go normal. So to have that is awesome. it is truly awesome when people are just scared to play you because you're good at hero. It's really fucking cool, man. But I was at ease the whole entire time just because I kind of got to watch a Proquest from like a top-down perspective. Like, mostly if I'm not playing at a Proquest, I'm judging it. So I'm always thinking like from a judge's point of view, everything that's happening. But I got to like physically be at a Proquest, but like not playing, not judging. I just got to be a spectator the whole entire time. I got to kind of freely do whatever I wanted. And it was just so interesting watching because like I don't remember the last event that I was at, but I didn't play at or didn't judge. I don't remember. Maybe I don't even think there maybe has ever been one. But it was awesome watching my teammate kind of like be at the top tables on a pick he wasn't 100% sure about. He was undefeated going into the last 2 rounds and he lost the last 2. So he technically lost the last 3 games all in a row. It's kind of unfortunate. But I learned that everything's gonna be okay, and we shouldn't be crashing out so often. And what all made me want to turn this into videos, because when I was at this event, it was at D20 Hobbies in Lexington, Kentucky. There was a player who was playing Viserai. I'm not gonna call them by their name, mostly because I don't know their name. But there was a Viserai player who played my teammate round 2, I want to say. I think it was round 2. And he was just complaining the whole entire time how he was going to lose. And all that stuff. They ended up going to time. And I'll be real, one thing that did piss me off about that player was they're clearly going to go to time if they don't speed up. And there's like 3 minutes left. And he takes like a full minute out of the clock, just like fucking around with his friend next to him, going like, I'm gonna lose. And I'm sitting there going like, bro, what the fuck is happening? Play the fucking game. You have 3 minutes left. Because like, even if you think you're gonna lose, let's just live in a world where he doesn't say that dumbass shit, and he like thinks he can still win. Wouldn't you want to finish the game? Your opponent's at 3. Now, obviously, some context people don't know is my friend still has D-Reacts. My friend has Life Gain. Literally has Sigil Souls in their fucking arsenal. Has Sirens Calls in their stack. Has a Pummel. surgical in stack, has a surgical in hand. So my friend's actually favored to win. Now, some of this is known and not known to spectators and all that stuff. But my friend's super favored to win if the game just continues, like naturally. But too much time got ate up off the clock by my friend's opponent, and they were not happy about losing. They were like, "Oh, I fucking hate playing new. I fucking hate playing against new." Game's finally over. I'm thinking, okay, that guy was just really tilted that game, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. It happens to everyone. Happens to me. It's fine. But next round, I think they might have faced another new, or they faced someone, and they get fucking clapped. Like, I kind of like am walking by constantly, and I believe it is Zayla, and like they get fucking creamed. They lose that game. They're like taking their stuff, they're slamming into their deck box, they're moving everything. It's like moving everything. They like fling their chair up and they fucking throw their chair over to the right, and they pack their stuff up and they like go into a different room. But then they're like weirdly calm and like talking to their friend. It's weird as shit. But that round's over, and I'm like, wow, that person's fucking angry. Because at the very least, if you're angry, most people don't do that in front of other people because it's just like public image and stuff. That person like was crashing the fuck out like in fucking in front of everyone, like literally throwing stuff and like slamming stuff. I thought it was over. That person was talking about dropping. Judge said, "Hey, are you dropping?" The guy thinks. He says no, and I'm like, okay, you know what? He got his wits about himself. He crashed out a little bit. He's fine. But then again, he plays against Kano the next round. And bro goes to play a single card on his first turn, and the Kano goes Wildfire for fucking 8. He goes Wildfire for 8. And then the guy goes, "Oh, so I'm fucking dead, right? So I'm fucking dead, right?" Mind you, this isn't like me and you were talking. So I'm fucking dead. But just whatever. It's like, I'm here, you're all the way over there, and you can hear me go, "Oh, so I'm fucking dead, right? So I'm fucking dead? Am I fucking lose here?" And you're just like, what the fuck is happening back? Because I even seen people looking. People were so fucking... Because this dude's just like fucking crashing the fuck out in front of everyone. He doesn't die. He goes to like 3 because he had 1 resource floating. He's like, see, if I just didn't have 1 resource floating, I'd be fucking dead. I'd be fucking dead if I didn't have that 1 resource. And I'm sitting there going like, what the fuck is happening? And like, I'm trying to like hold back my fucking laughter. And like, I gotta cover my shirt like this the whole entire time. Because like, I'm just watching this guy get fucking murdered live on fucking camera. And like, he's just like having a fucking meltdown. And like, he keeps looking at me, so I have to like keep hiding my face and shit. Oh, but I'm 100% fucking laughing behind. So then, it goes to the Kano's turn. Kano passes it back. Dude plays a single card. And guy goes, "Activate Kano." And he goes like, "That's fucking dead." And dude goes, no. And he goes, Aether Swindle for 5. Dude AB2s goes to 1. Blocks with another card. Round's over. Dude's going like, "Yep, see, I'm at 1. I'm just gonna fucking die. You never do it." And I'm like, bro, alright. I'm just like, I'm begging the cameras to put this guy out of his fucking misery, bro. Like, just fucking shoot him in the head. Just get it over with. So, bro goes to play a single card. The Viscerai goes to play a single card on his turn. Kano goes, "Activate Kano." It's Blazing Aether. The guy goes, "Yep, it's Blazing Aether. I'm just fucking dead. Why did I not drop? Why did I not drop?" And I'm sitting there going like, it's fucking Blazing Aether. That doesn't do anything. You're at 1. If you take a damage, you're dead anyway. The Blazing is actually a fucking whiff. And then dude goes, and he's like thinking. I'm like, let's activate Kano again. But he can't. He has 3 fucking reds in his hand. So he has to block with a card. And I'm like, oh wait, this game isn't over. So dude goes to his turn, and then the Kano player passes again. Turns out he had like a Wildfire and something else in his hand. So I'm like, okay, game's not over. Viscerai goes to his turn again, and then Kano finds a Sonic Boom, kills him, goes to Fist Bump, but the fucking Viscerai goes like, and like storms up, and I'm just sitting there going like this. Just like watching it. But like under this, I'm just fucking laughing. Like if you see my body, it was probably going like this the whole entire time because you could tell I'm laughing. And like I'll be real, I kind of did some toxic ass shit for a minute. I did some toxic ass shit. So the guy's like in the fucking doorway he's going to like the main part of the store, and he's like complaining to the judge that's there, and like but they're like a view of like the table that they're at. So I do some bullshit, and I'll be real. This is toxic as shit. I'll be real. So the candle player walks past me. I'm like, "Hey, man, wildfire for 8, yeah!" And I like fist bumps, and he like goes, "Yeah, yeah, man, wildfire for 8." And I look over, and the guy's just looking. I'm like, "Gosh, I'm a piece of shit, ain't I?" No, but what I realized is watching him crash out. I'm just like, "Hey, man, sometimes like events are just not your fucking events." Now, his attitude during the event wasn't great. The game's not rewarding when he has a horrible attitude. Like, I don't even think he made good plays throughout most of the time. Because I was watching his games, like, he was making some very confusing ass fucking plays. So of course you're not gonna get rewarded. And like I said, even if you do everything right, you're not always gonna get rewarded every single time. You eventually should get rewarded, but maybe it's a different event. Like, the last time I got rewarded was the fucking 2K green tree. I got rewarded. I haven't got rewarded since, and I only got rewarded a little bit before, but I finally got rewarded there. Someone else probably thought they should have won. They didn't get rewarded there. Maybe they got rewarded after. That's how you gotta look through life, man. Not every single event's gonna be your event. Well, your event will come. You just have to be ready. You gotta be ready to attend your event. You can't just go to your event and be like, "Yep, if I don't win this one, life's fucking over. I might as well kill myself." No. Go to every single event and be fucking ready to win that one. And eventually, if you've done everything right, you're gonna get that win. And it's gonna feel amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys learned anything from this one, again, like this is kind of me putting some personal stuff out there because usually I don't like to do that, but I thought it was necessary here to like teach the eventual lesson later on, and I felt like you needed all the context in between to figure out like where I was, where I'm coming from this subject. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment down below what you guys want to see next. It's been your boy Fabtcg. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.